Okay, quick question. What's the scariest thing you've ever wanted to do? Think about it for a second. Was it talking to someone you liked? Posting that first video online? Jumping into a pool when you didn't know if you could swim? Or maybe it was just sending a risky text like, "Hey." Because let's be honest, sometimes pressing send feels scarier than skydiving. Now here's the wild part. That fear you felt? It never lasts as long as you think it will. Like fear shows up to the party all loud and dramatic. "I'm gonna ruin your night. Mwahahahahaha." And then, the second you actually start doing the thing, fear realizes, oh, you're really doing this? I gotta go. Bye. Seriously, try to think of a time you were afraid and then actually did the thing. Maybe you were nervous about raising your hand in class. Your heart was pounding, your brain was like, "Don't do it, everyone will think you're weird." Then you finally spoke, and what happened? The teacher said, "Good answer." And everyone else went back to doodling in their notebooks. Fear had you convinced you'd end up the clown of the century. Reality? Boring. Nothing happened. That's how fear works. It's mostly made of hot air. It's like one of those inflatable Halloween decorations. Looks huge, spooky, terrifying, until you unplug it and it just collapses into a sad, wrinkly mess on the lawn. Let me give you another one. Think about learning to ride a bike. When you were a kid, that bike was basically a death machine. You thought, if I fall, I'll break every bone in my body and possibly explode. The first time you pedaled, you were wobbly, terrified, gripping the handlebars like they were the last French fries on Earth. But after 5 minutes, you're zooming down the street yelling, "Look, no hands!" Fear didn't last. Action crushed it. Or how about this? Public speaking. Oh boy, you stand up, your hands are sweating, your knees are shaking, and your brain is screaming, "Abort mission! Fake a cough! Pretend you fainted!" But the second you start talking, maybe you stumble a little, maybe your voice cracks, the fear starts to shrink. The longer you keep going, the less power it has. It's like fear ran out of Wi-Fi signal and just gave up. Here's the secret. Fear loves waiting rooms. It loves hanging out in your imagination, blowing things out of proportion. You'll fail. You'll embarrass yourself. Everyone will laugh. But the moment you walk into the arena, whether that's a stage, a conversation, or even just the deep end of the pool, fear doesn't know what to do. It's all bark, no bite. I'll prove it with something super simple, ordering food. You ever go to a restaurant and stress about how to say the dish? Like it's in another language and you're thinking, if I pronounce this wrong, they'll ban me for life. You rehearse in your head, quesadilla, no wait, quesadilla? And when the waiter comes, you just point and mumble, that one. And guess what? The waiter doesn't care. You still get your food. Fear left you sweating over a taco. Or sending that text I mentioned earlier. You type it out, stare at it for 10 minutes, rewrite it 47 times, and finally send it. Then you sit there imagining every worst-case scenario. They'll think you're weird, they'll block you, they'll hire a skywriter just to tell the world you're awkward. And then their reply comes, "Cool?" And you're like, "Wait, that's it?" I spent an hour panicking for a smiley face. See what I mean? Fear is sneaky, but it's also lazy. If you just move forward, fear gets tired of chasing you. Here's the thing. Everyone you admire, everyone you think is confident, they weren't fearless. Nope, they were afraid, but they acted while being afraid. That's the difference. Courage isn't about waiting until you're calm and zen. Courage is about shaking hands, sweaty palms, knees wobbling, and still saying, "Okay, let's do this." It's like learning to swim. You don't wait until you're ready. You just get in the pool, splash around, swallow a little water, cough like a sea lion, and suddenly you're swimming. Boom. Fear defeated. So here's a challenge for you. Pick one thing you've been putting off because you're scared. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's sharing your art, trying a new sport, asking that question in class, or even just saying hi to someone new. Do it this week. Do it while being afraid. And then pay attention to how long the fear actually lasts. I'll give you a spoiler. Fear's like a cheap firework. Big noise, lots of smoke. And then it fizzles out way faster than you thought. And hey, even if things go wrong, who cares? At least you get a story, like, remember when I was terrified to dance at that party, but I did it anyway and ended up looking like a confused penguin? People still talk about it. Sometimes the things you fear the most turn into the funniest memories. So the next time fear shows up and tries to run the show, just smile and say, "Cool, you can sit in the back seat, but I'm still driving, and keep moving forward, because fear won't stick around as long as you think. But regret? That sticks forever." So do it scared. Laugh at the fear, collect the stories. And then one day you'll look back and realize fear was never the boss. You were.